Hey everyone, today we are diving into the basics of Docker, one of the most powerful tools for developers and DevOps engineers. Before jumping into the code, let's first understand what Docker actually is with the help of this simple diagram. At the center, you can see is the Docker engine, which is the core of Docker. It's responsible for creating and managing everything you see. Let's break down this into three main parts. First up is Docker image. A Docker image is a read-only template. It contains everything needed to run an application. Think of it like a blueprint. So what is the usage of a Docker image? Images are used to create Docker containers. Next is Docker container. A Docker container is a running instance of a Docker image. It contains all the state and data needed while the application is running. Think of it as the actual application that's running in an isolated environment. What is the usage of Docker container? So containers are used to run the applications. And finally, the Docker Hub. Docker Hub is a cloud-based repository where you can store and share images with others. You can pull ready-made images or push your own images to the hub. So to sum it up, Docker images are the blueprints, Docker containers are the running applications, Docker Hub is where you store and share your images. Now let's understand how Docker works by moving on to the practical part. I will show you how to write a Dockerfile, build an image, and run a container on your machine. So let's jump straight into the code. So before starting our coding implementation of Docker, I would like you to notify that I have shared a Notion template in the description box, in which I have listed down all the commands which you are going to use in this video. So let's get started. So this is the Notion template in which I have listed down all the steps required to implement Docker in your system. So let's start our implementation part. First of all, we'll open the terminal and start executing the commands step by step. So the first command is sudo apt update. This command updates the packages at the index. It will ask for the password for the user currently logged in. Wait until this process completes. After this, we will execute our second command, which will install all the prerequisites. In this command, we are implementing the transport HTTPS, downloading the CA certificates, etc. Then we will add the Docker's official GPG key into our system. After that, we will add the Docker repository to the apt of our system. Next, we will update the apt with our new repository which we added recently. After that, we will install Docker and its related packages like Docker CE, Docker CE CLI, and Docker Container D.I. After this, we will add the user, the current logged in user, to the Docker group, and we will apply the new rule. So our Docker implementation is completed. Now we will check whether the Docker is successfully implemented or not by using docker ---- version command. As you can see, we are able to see the version of the Docker, which means a Docker has been successfully installed. So the next step is to create a simple web application. For that, we will create a directory named Docker demo. Next, we will change the directory to the Docker demo. Now our next task is to create an index.html with a sample markup code. We can see the index.html is created. We can also check the contents of index.html by cat command. The next step is to create a Dockerfile. A Dockerfile contains the step to create a Docker image. So as you can see, Dockerfile has been created. We can also see the contents of the Dockerfile by the cat command. So our fourth step is to build a Docker image by using the command docker build -t mywebapp:1.0. The part after -t is the name for the image, and after colon you specify the version, and we have also specified a dot, which means that to include all the current files in the directory. So we are adding a tag by using the -t. We can verify whether the Docker image is created by using docker images command. As you can see, my web app image has been created with a tag of 1.0, which we specified. So the next step is to run a container from the image. So to run that, we will use this command. So let me explain what is -d. In this, -d specifies to run in a detached mode. -p specifies the port which is to be mapped of the system and Docker. --name is the name for the container, and at last we specify the name of the image along with its tag. As we can see, our container has been created, and to check it we will go to localhost 8080 and we will see that hello from Docker, which is the file content which we wrote earlier, hello from Docker, in the index.html. So after this, our next task is to push the image into Docker Hub. So to push that, first of all we will need to log in to the Docker Hub. To do this, we will click on this link given in the terminal and copy and paste this code into the text box given in the web. After this, we will. So now we have successfully logged in into the Docker. We will wait for the confirmation in the terminal. As we can see, login succeeded. So we have been logged in into the terminal as well. So next is to tag our image with your Docker Hub username. So this is a type of authentication. So in this you will replace your username with your actual username. In my case, it's bytewise0.05. Next, we'll push the image to the Docker Hub by using the command docker push. Write your username / the name of the image along with the tag. So this command will push the image to the Docker Hub. First of all, it will compress this image into the local system, and then it will push it to the cloud. So as we can see, the process is completed. We can verify whether the image has been pushed or not by visiting Docker Hub website. Here you need to sign up with your account. As you can see, at the first we have my web app, which we pushed 1 minute ago, and it has been pushed successfully. You can also see the tag 1.0 which we added from our system. So our next step is to pull any image from Docker Hub. For this tutorial, we are using a C image, which is MediDiagnose, which I created sometimes before. In this also you need to write the username/image, and as this is a C program, we don't need to specify the port, but if it is a Node.js or any of the program which requires a port, you need to specify the port by -p command, -p tag, sorry. So it will download the image. After downloading, you can see this image by using Docker images. So we can verify Docker images. You can see byte 0405/MediDiagnose, which we downloaded, and the total size is 1.4. So to run the image, we will copy this command. So the command is docker run --name. We will specify the name of the container, and at last we will specify the image name. As you can see, our image is running successfully. So this is the complete implementation of Docker step by step in Linux environments, especially for Debian. I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.